John was on the island of Patmos in the 1st century AD when he received this vision. Revelation 13:11 says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon." Many believe John saw the bison in this vision of Revelation 13. The bison, also called the buffalo, is native to North America. However, since North America had not yet been discovered, John didn't know what to call this beast. But since it looked similar to an animal he was familiar with, he called this woolly-faced animal a beast with 2 horns like a lamb. In the United States, the National Bison Legacy Act, which designates the bison as the first national mammal of the United States, was signed into law by President Obama on May 9, 2016. This could be coincidence, but then again, it could also be God helping his people identify who this beast is. When you study Revelation 13:11 through 15, having a basic understanding of history, along with current religious and political events, you will soon understand that the United States of America is the only country in the world that fits the description of the beast with 2 horns like a lamb. For a thorough understanding of this, please request this free book at the end of the video and read chapter 25 titled God's Law Immutable, which talks about the United States in prophecy. In the meantime, here are a few reasons why the United States is the beast with 2 horns like a lamb. According to Scripture, the leopard beast of Revelation 13:10 was going into captivity at the time this 2-horned beast was rising up or coming into power. The leopard beast went into captivity in 1798 when Napoleon's general took the Pope captive. This means the 2-horned beast would rise to power around the same time, and the United States fits perfectly. Its Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776, the U.S. Constitution in 1787, the Bill of Rights in 1789, and additions were made in 1791. Yes, the United States was rising up during the same time the papal beast was going into captivity and received its deadly wound. Revelation 13:11 also says the 2-horned beast would rise up out of the earth. This is the opposite of how the leopard beast rose from the sea. Revelation 17:15 tells us the sea, or the water, represents multitudes of people. The opposite of this is true for a beast who rises out of the earth. Therefore, this 2-horned beast must rise in a country that was sparsely populated in the 1700s. Therefore, it must be sought on the Western continent, because the European Eastern continent was teeming with people. The United States is the only country that fits this biblical description of rising to power in the New World during the late 1700s. Since this beast or nation is described as being like a lamb, this indicates youth, innocence, and gentleness, fitly representing the character of the United States when presented to the prophet as coming up in 1798. The 2 horns of its power, republicanism and Protestantism, became the fundamental principles of the nation. These principles are the secret of its power and prosperity, but according to the Bible, these principles will be discarded. Unlike the United States, other nations mentioned in prophecy were described as wild beasts because they rose to power through conquest of war. But in the beginning, the United States had no such desire. Its main concern was to live in peace, to be a haven of rest for those who were oppressed, especially through religious persecution as the Pilgrims were in Europe. Thus, the United States was founded as a peaceful, freedom-loving nation. The prediction this beast would later speak as a dragon foretells of the development of the spirit of intolerance and persecution that was manifested by the dragon and leopard-like beast before it. Speaking of the United States, Revelation 13:12 says, "And he exercised all of the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." This phrase that the United States causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast indicates that the authority of the United States is to be exercised in such a way as to enforce religious observance. This is considered by God as an act of homage to the papal beast. To learn more, email stmedia.co@gmail.com with your name and address for the free book, The Great Controversy Between Christ and Satan, available within the continental United States while supplies last. Outside the continental U.S., we'll send you the book in PDF format. That address again is stmedia.co gmail.com. One final note, please do not request this book if you already have a copy in your home. Thank you, and God bless you.